Hey guys, welcome to Standing on Business with Eric Foss. I'm your host, Eric Foss. First things first, it's a beautiful day here in Baltimore, Maryland. I hope it's beautiful wherever you're at. Get out and enjoy it. Today we're going to be going over a topic that's pretty big in the United States of America, and that's, is Donald Trump going to go to prison? Okay, I'm going to get in today. I'm not going to go into his state cases because anybody who knows anything, federal cases are way more of a worry than any state cases possible. Plus, I really don't know Atlanta, Georgia, and New York City. I don't know their state laws. So I do know a lot about federal law. So we're going to look into this real quick, okay? Now, you'll hear people on CNN or wherever saying he's got 91 charges, he's got 91 indictments, stuff like that. That's all 4 cases, and that's counts. He's got 4 indictments, 2 state, 2 federal. Okay, I'm gonna go down to the easiest one federally that I see him having any type of chance. And that will be right here. That would be the federal indictment in the 2020 election interference case. Okay, I was looking at this and I paid attention to something. He has co-defendants. He has no co-defendants. He has nobody that's been charged with him. Okay, now stay with me on that. Now, here's his 4 counts total. It's just 4 counts in this indictment. Conspiracy to defraud the United States. Remember that word, conspiracy. Conspiracy to obstruct an official proceeding. Conspiracy once again. Obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. Okay, and here comes this word again, conspiracy. Conspiracy against rights. Okay, now let me break down a conspiracy for you. In the federal law, a conspiracy is an agreement between more than one person. It could be 2 people, it could be 3 people, it could be 300 people. But say it's you and somebody else. That other person cannot be an informant and cannot be an undercover cop. And basically what that does is that could protect a potential defendant from entrapment. Okay, so the problem you see here with this case is he has no co-defendants, but he's 3 of his 4 counts are conspiracy. So how is he in a conspiracy by himself? Okay, if you've been paying attention to anything, you'll see a few news people cover this and stuff. He has what's called unindicted co-conspirators. Okay, now that could be a few things. Okay, what it could be is this. Before you're ever charged in the federal system, before you're indicted, it's something called a criminal complaint, which they file. Okay, and then that goes before the grand jury, and it's basically just your charges, what they're coming at you with. Okay, and then they will put all the charges before a grand jury, and then they'll indict you, and then you're federally indicted, which Donald Trump is. Okay, now, so he has co-conspirators that have not been indicted. So they could have taken a deal to possibly cooperate against him and just pled out to the criminal complaint, which would make them an unindicted co-conspirator. Also, they just could have never been charged. This is the way that the feds will work, and what they will do. Now, do you see how they do that? A conspiracy needs more than this one person, but if they don't charge these people, it's still a conspiracy. You see, a lot of the federal laws are double talk, but that also works in his favor because he can come with the defense that, well, who am I in conspiracy with? Why aren't they charged? If we conspired to commit the same, obviously we're committing the same crime. Why am I the only one indicted? Okay, because usually what they'll do, like in your other cases, like not against, this is the first time ever against a former president. So let's just say, usually in like say drug cases, they'll usually indict everybody. And a lot of times your unindicted co-conspirators took a pre-indictment plea bargain and pled out to the criminal complaint. And 9 times out of 10, they're cooperating. So we don't know. And that's where these surprise witnesses come from. It's never a surprise. It's the feds have this just sitting in their back pocket the whole time. So this could possibly happen to Donald Trump. Now, his defense to this, though, is, Where is the conspiracy? You know, I want to see. You know, I want to confront. I want to confront my accusers. You know, which they might walk them in there. Now, if that's why most of the time they're cooperating, because what if they never charge them and you want to confront these other people in a conspiracy? This could just be made up. So he does have some loopholes. He does have some loopholes, and he's got the money. And like I said, he's got 4 counts. And to me, it's all the same. It's all the same count. It's just a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo with that, you know. So he has a chance. And this case is, I believe this is a DC case. He'd be okay. So let's just assume he would get found guilty on 1 count, okay, which obstruction of an attempt to obstruct an official proceeding. Okay, now, if you look at that now, people will say, well, he's not going to go to prison and stuff like this and stuff like that. Don't ever think that. I haven't looked into it, but a lot of these federal cases, they have mandatory minimum sentences. And this is out of Washington, D.C. District Court, okay? So my take on it is probably going to be a liberal judge. So if he was convicted, now that judge would have to be the one to grant him an appeal bond until he's sentenced or whatever. So yeah, there's a chance that he would go to prison. But also there's a chance he could beat this one. And honestly, I think at the end of the day, I think this one's going to get dismissed. So, you know, we'll chalk that up as a win for Big Trizzy. That's what I call Donald Trump anyway. So now let's go up here because we got some problems up here. The indictment in classified documents case, that's charged in Florida, okay? And everybody knows about that. He's accused of keeping classified documents after leaving the White House, storing them in various locations, Mar-a-Lago, including a ballroom, bathroom, shower, office space, bedroom, storage room. How many of them was it? According to the indictment, he is also accused of scheme to conceal that he kept those documents. And right here, he denies wrongdoing. That ain't no shock. Okay. So the problem with this one is he does have co-defendants on this, and that's Walt Nauta. He was an aide to Trump, and Carlos de Oliveira. He was the property manager of Mar-a-Lago, or he is maybe. Then they supersede the indictment. Now here's the one. There's 40 counts in all. He's got 32 counts of unlawful retention of national defense information, count of conspiracy, that word again, to obstruct justice, count of withholding a document or record, 1 count of corruptly concealing a document or a record, 1 count of concealing a document in a federal investigation. As you'll see as I'm reading these counts off, all these counts fit into one. This is basically window dressing a lot of times. 1 count of scheme to conceal, 1 count of false statements or representations, 1 count of altering, destroying, mutilating, or concealing an object, 1 count of corruptly altering, destroying, mutilating, or concealing a document, record, or other object. I would figure that everything would fit under object, which was in the count before that. But anyway, so now with this one, it can get tricky because there's a certain rule or law of the land that a president can declassify documents or something, and that's what he's claiming he did. So the problem with this though is, like I said, everything's double talk. There's going to be something for them to come back on. That's why people hire good lawyers, because the law is all double talk. Okay, it could be one. It's all how it's interpreted. Let me say it like that. So basically, it's double talk. So you need somebody who can basically have a jury or a judge see their interpretation the best way. And the problem with that here is that he has all these counts. I mean, this is crazy. I mean, so now let's just say that he's indicted on any of these counts, which is the highest probability. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, if he doesn't win the presidency and actually pardon himself, this is going to be a real shit show. People are going to say, oh, he's got so much money. Martha Stewart had money. Listen, these people print the money. And when they come after you, you know, and they actually sent her to prison. So well, I don't know what the mandatory minimums on these sentences are, or if he was convicted. Now, I do know this. Now, since this is in Florida, and he's got a better chance with the judge. It may be a conservative judge. Actually, with the jury also. I mean, that's you're going to, you know, because there's really no way to actually hold a trial where nobody's going to know about Donald Trump. You understand what I'm saying? And people have hard feelings both ways. They love him or they really hate him. So now, if you get a Trumpster on one of these juries, it takes a unanimous. It takes 12 unanimous to convict you. So, do you think this Trumpster is going to convict him? No. So it would be a hung jury. They'd have to re-prosecute if they wanted to. They'd have to keep going through all that kind of stuff. Now, also with the judge. Now, I don't know if it would be a liberal judge or conservative judge. This is where this comes down to. Now, say Trump was convicted of one petty count or something, and then he had a right to an appeal. And he wants to be out on appeal bond. He's not, you know, he's not a flight risk and all that kind of stuff. Now, if he's got a conservative judge, they're probably going to let him do that. If he's got a liberal judge, no, he's going to be remanded right away, and he's going to go to jail. You know, like I said, if he wins the presidency, it's all a moot point. I'm going to get into these state cases once I look further into them. But like I'm telling you, like, them state cases are least of his worries, because the feds, it's a huge difference. So I'm going to look further into that with the state cases. And in my honest opinion, do I believe that he's going to be convicted? 44 counts. Like I said, I'm gonna X out the DC. I'm gonna X out the insurrection whole deal or whatever, because I just see that conspiracy and so I'm just gonna not even include it. It's gonna be tough to get around the 40 count indictment. It just is. But like I said, he just takes one person. But then once again, they can re-prosecute you because they print the money. So guys, I'll look further into that, and I'll come on with that video probably sometime this week or next week. But until then, you know, guys, just stay on business and enjoy this beautiful weather. I'll see you guys later.